I'm deep down the Hitler rabbit hole, dude.
Ich führe mich ein, so wie ich verdiene.
I'm in Eagle's Nest, flying around, figuring out how many workers it took to build it. $150 million. This one guy from the Nazi party, he's like, hey, I want to impress Hitler. He's fucking changing the world. And because 50th birthday's coming up in 38. Spends $150 million, 3,000 different people on this time crunch project, literally building this thing 5,000 feet on the top of a mountain. And Hitler gets there, and he's like,
Dude, sick house, but I'm afraid of heights.
Because he... I did not know that.
Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship. No, we don't talk about smart nonsense.
No. We talk about smart nonsense here at Smart Nonsense. It's in the name, Pop. And that's really concerning given your only job at Clipped Media, Smart Nonsense Media right now is Smart Nonsense. That's your only job.
Dude.
One line in. He fucks.
See, the problem is I went to do my one job, which right now it's to write about how silencers work. And I don't know how, but I'm deep down the Hitler rabbit hole, dude. I'm in Eagle's Nest, flying around, figuring out how many workers it took to build it. Dude, $150 million. They like, this one guy from the Nazi party, he's like, hey, I want to impress Hitler because, you know, he's fucking changing the world. And because 50th birthday's coming up in 38. Spends $150 million, 3,000 different people on this crunch, like time crunch project, literally building this thing 5,000 feet on the top of a mountain. And Hitler gets there, and he's like, dude, sick house, but I'm afraid of heights. So I'm never going to come here. And I'm like, what a fucking shitty gift, dude. He didn't know he's afraid of heights. So what are you doing?
So, okay, that's great. That's a great finding. It's a great rabbit hole. But I'm over here, like we siloed you off inside the company. We just like put you over there. We're trying to find the right seat for your butt. And you have one direct report now, the writer who we're training. But you're in Hitler's Eagle's Nest all day. It's 4 p.m. over there.
I know. I just realized I had to research silencers, and that was what the last 5 minutes was. And I'm like, wow, it's a lot there. I got to get into trying to figure out how sound waves work and everything, because it's like you shoot a gun, right? And the bullet comes out, and I think you got two effects. Because one, it's the bullet being supersonic, so that you get the sonic boom. But also, you just have this high pressure air just from that combustion that is now looking to expand. And so when it expands, it hits a bunch of other air molecules and it makes them jiggle. So I didn't realize you got two effects going at once. I still got to figure out all this jiggling stuff, how that works. But it's
and
good.
That's how you
I think I can like anything.
1938 Nazi Germany? You were researching
how I got there? That's a great question. How I got there? Oh, I don't know. My YouTube feed, it just popped up some vlogger went there. And I'm like, well,
no,
let me
you
get
gotta
this
stay.
hour
You gotta stay on
documentary.
track. The other thing I'm battling with so you basically run Smart Nonsense now. I run
Right.
Clipped Media before my brother comes in to run Clipped Media. And another
In 2 weeks.
issue
It's February 12th.
Oh, and he's dating the podcast. So that's how you know we're 6 months behind the daily podcast. Right. So he's coming in, but now I have this problem at Clipped where I think I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, but I think we actually figured out how to run a sales pipeline. And actually, I told you over the weekend to go watch the I have a vlog scheduled on my YouTube channel for like 2 years from when I recorded it. Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm. No, you sent it to me though.
Well,
I had to log in, and I didn't want to log in because
Right.
I had to sign in and sign out of everything.
and then you'd go down the rabbit hole if you went on YouTube.
I might.
But so I was watching it. Just I don't know. I forgot I did it. And 2 years ago, I guess it was 2 years ago because it comes out in July. I was talking about how we haven't figured out the sales pipeline and we need to figure it out. It took us 2 years
Well, I
But my
think,
point,
dude,
yeah, go ahead.
really quick. I think 2 years ago we had everything figured out, and then it's kind of like NASA goes to the moon, and then we forget how to go to space, and now we're
Dude,
just going back
in
to
that
space.
video, we were about to release our new website, which was the Clipped Anti-Agency.
That wasn't the direction.
So we did not figure it out. We'll have to
Although a
react
couple
to
of
that.
projects that I've been working on, even things that aren't supposed to be projects, like people have a really hard time with perfection through iteration. That might be our number one principle, to be honest, because a
Just
lot of people,
perfectionism in general.
yeah, especially when you haven't started. That's the most infuriating thing. It's like, dude, you don't even know what perfection is. So I'm just
But
dealing with one
I have a
person
good one
doing
on that because I learned this through like editing photos and stuff a long time ago. I used to like when I was editing a photo, I would take it into Photoshop and maybe edit out like a light post or something, or like edit a fence or like edit people out of the background, whatever it was. And I always, when I got so deep into that edit, I thought, man, like when I put this out or I deliver it to the client, they're going to know where the Photoshopped bits are because I'm like pixel peeping, right? I know like exactly where to look to find those Photoshopped things. Same thing in an edit. Like, you know where every transition is, you know where every sound effect is placed. But when the average Joe is just watching your stuff, they got no freaking clue. Like, all of the tiny little details you think matter, right over their head.
Yeah.
You have no clue. So, long way of saying, we figured out the pipeline. I figured out the pipeline, and all you have to do now is I give you once a week, like the 3 to 5 things I need you to do for my pipeline, which is like move someone here or message this person or ping this person. He doesn't do them. He's disrupting
me?
my pipe. You
What did
remember
I?
a couple days ago?
Oh,
Actually, it was Friday. I was like, hey, on Monday, I sent you like 3 little things I need you to do for the pipeline to keep
Yeah.
it moving along. You're like, didn't do those. I didn't do those. The second you do, sale.
What happened
It's just,
when I realized, like, I got to like 9 p.m. or something on Friday. I don't know. I was here late, I think, and I realized I didn't
'cause we
hit the
FaceTimed.
pipe. Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't do anything that I was supposed to do all day. I don't know what Eagle's Nest I was in, but I was somewhere, and then I finally realized, I'm like, shit, I got hockey. I got to really finish this. And so I banged everything out in like 15 minutes. It was fucking ridiculous. I was
The
like,
pipe might be the easiest, most straightforward thing you can do in business.
that could have been actually 15 seconds, dude. That was a copy and paste. Hey, how's everything going with the video? Just zoop, zoop, zoop.
The worst is I have your credentials. So I run the pipeline through your Twitter and email. And I pinged like 15 people. 12 of them responded, and you just left them all on red. That was you disrupting my pipe. You're like, oh,
well,
I was wondering why all these people were coming out of the woodwork wanting to work with us.
That's the thing, dude. When I say I'm out, I'm out. So that's the last I'm ever touching a pipe. And that's a good thing, really. My parents would be proud. When I was little, actually, speaking of pipes, I was born and raised on this little river. It's called Narrow River because it's narrow. And I was like snorkeling across the river, and I found an old pipe.
You don't snorkel in rivers, Pop. It's not something
I actually got a scar from cutting it on a plastic chair that was in the river. But no, that was a really old pipe. And my neighbor Jonesy, who was a pirate, he told me that it was a really old pipe from like 400 years ago. And I kept it in like a little Tupperware thing with some seawater for like several years, and it just disintegrated.
I got 2 questions.
So I'm not good at pipes, dude. Can't take care of
questions. Was Jonesy actually a pirate? What is that all about?
He had a giant pirate ship in his yard. So yeah, and he sailed the world's oceans. No, like a full blown like a pirate ship, like 40 feet long
like
in his yard.
It once was in the water, and it's now in his yard.
Yeah, it sailed all around the world. I don't know if it was like a pirate ship, but it was wooden and it was fucking old.
You ever think?
And he'd always tell us pirate stories. My dad would just go up to Jonesy's and he was on like his own little hill, like a little eagle's nest, and they just get really high and tell each other stories and stuff. And I just hear the stories through the grapevine. But he died because he was kind of he got crushed by like a crane, like while he was in his pirate days, and
What?
so he was just terminally not doing too hot.
Stay away from Narrow River.
Dude. That's right by Bona Bridge.
You know, you never know what you'll uncover, and Bobby's pipe, but you never know what you'll uncover on an episode of the Smart Nonsense podcast. We're in like 2006 Bobby's pipe, Narrow River.
Fuck, dude.
Let's see.
I got the bean pot. If we want to talk about the bean pot,
give me the bean pot.
Well, I don't think I talked about some of the bean pot, but
well, the craziest thing is you just assumed I knew what the bean pot was. Like I'm a townie from Warwick, Rhode Island.
Warwick.
Like,
yeah, bean pot is this college tournament I went to like I don't know last weekend, the weekend before, and was that Monday? Was that this Monday? What is it?
No, today's Monday. Like, what do you mean? Was that this Monday? It's Monday.
Dude,
where? Your life, man. Your life is 1938. It's so confusing. It's so confusing.
So a week ago, we went to the bean pot with my dad and our other friend from college. Actually, we didn't get any photos, but Kevin was there and Kevin's whole family. So it was nice. Shivan, that's what we call him. And I don't know, dude. I just had a little anecdote of like, my dad's been telling me anytime we go to a sporting event, he's like, hey, Dylan, don't buy the tickets yet. I'm like, why? They're not that expensive. He's like, yeah, but they get even cheaper if you buy them right before the event. And I'm like, that sounds risky and stressful and probably not worth it. And so we tried it like when I went to Tampa Bay with him for Christmas. Tickets were not cheaper, but he's like, no, trust me. Like, if you just wait to the last minute, like within an hour, and this was like weeks out from the bean pot, I'm like, can we just get them so I don't have to like think about the bean pot? We wait the whole time. We literally like get to the rink, and
so he's not wrong, right? Like what happens maybe 2 or 3 hours before an event is scalpers start. All the people who had secondhand tickets, they just start dumping prices because they'd rather put a butt in a seat, than just lose the ticket because they're not.
Well, it's like an option. If you're a trader, like you get like the option to buy, but when time's running out, well, I don't
trader.
Do finance. My bad.
Clearly.
So yeah, it's kind of like, dude, it's intuitively. Why did I have to make an analogy for something people already get? But basically comes down to the wire, and I think there are just like in theory that works, but there are so many slick ricks out in the world that the price actually went up. And we just ended up paying more for a ticket, and it stressed me out for like 2 weeks straight of thinking.
Or what happens is, like StubHub or SeatGeek, they'll shut down the platform like an hour before or something. You can't buy them. Or another thing is like you can't get an instant ticket. Like you can't get the ticket within the time. So yeah,
that's what happened.
It just sucks.
So I forgot. So price went up. And then I'm like, all right, well, we still got to buy these because we're like sitting at security. I'm like, we got to go in. So I buy it. And then we go through security and like, we're like in this weird purgatory where they're checking tickets. And I go to like get my ticket, but I don't have the ticket because I'm buying a secondhand ticket. Apparently they got to like wake up like Karen from Boston, Massachusetts to transfer the ticket to Dylan Jardon and his whole family. So like we had to wait for this lady to get notified and like go in the fucking StubHub app and like transfer her shit. And so we were just hanging out in Purgatory for another 15 minutes and the game starts. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You made it?
Made it, dude. But I'm like, was that worth it? The extra?
Dude, it's not worth it. It's
zero
a classic
savings. You
get what you pay for. I have a friend right now who we live in a very nice building. And he moved out. He moved out of the building to chase like a bigger spot with cheaper rent. Basically, he's getting a bigger spot, paying the same amount at a different building, a newer building. And he gets there and is just immediately like, I made a mistake. Like the walls are thin. the amenities. It's just, and he's like, you get what you pay for. You do. You
Dude,
taught me
talk
that premium
about
economy.
yeah, and then I
Always
fucking
go premium
reneged.
economy.
I had it figured out 2 years ago. What was cool was our other friend who traditionally wasn't a premium economy. He was suddenly the don't care the price, just send it. He's like, dude, it's in your hands. Whatever the price is, I want to go to the game. And I'm like, that's fucking sick, dude.
Wait, so did you hold everyone up, his family included, at the Bean
It was
Pot?
just Sheev. Sheev's family bought it 2 weeks before. They bought it on time. And I'm like, nah, Sheev, let's wait. So that
So you, Sheev, and your dad were in purgatory.
We were in purgatory.
Third hand
yeah.
purgatory.
A lot of hands. And they couldn't get in for a while. But we made it. Well, I had a transition and then I somehow went back. But I went to we had a Super Bowl party yesterday because it's February 12th,
Right.
2024. And dude, this new friend of ours, this guy Richie,
Dude,
cool guy.
There's no way you have a friend named Richie that's our age. There's Richie is a 58-year-old Italian mobster.
That's he might be because he has a just by himself this 4-bedroom like crazy penthouse that's $30,000 and it's just him in there.
Richie,
And that's where we watched the Super Bowl. And so Richie,
who the hell is Richie?
I don't know. We just got dinner with him last week, and he's kind of cool. So we've been hanging out. But he's one of those people. Like we're talking at dinner about like who's rich in the U.S. and everyone thinks it's like I don't know, like tech company people. They're probably pretty rich. I don't know what people think, but really it's just like these regional, old school like blue collar business owners are the rich people, like the car dealership guy that just owns like New England or I don't know, fucking painters in Chicago or something.
The Richies of the world.
Well, yeah. So what Richie has is he has this. He's basically like a bank for people that flip houses. It's like they need credit. They need a bunch of cash so that they can go buy a house and flip it, and then he just gives them cash at a high interest rate. But he just controls this whole like Southeast market or something.
I bet
So
he does. Hey, you be careful getting too close to Richie. I can see the writings on the wall from his name, his line of business, and the penthouse he's supposedly
and
living in.
he knows who Todd is, dude.
Was that 4 red flags? 3, 4, maybe 5 red flags. Yeah. But that's sick, dude. That's really sick.
My roommate Jack was there, and he's like, this is the first time ever he's like seen someone our age and been impressed. Like what the fuck is this guy doing? And his first thought is like, hey, is Richie doing like some fucking leverage buyout?
That's what I'm saying.
Some Big Short stuff where he's just gonna blow up, but who knows?
Maybe
dude.
not even legal. I was out with some people on Friday. What do you have that thing called is it like a frame battle?
Yeah.
What's that? It's like something about like whoever's in the room, the majority kind of owns the frame or something.
Yeah, something like that. Frame's kind of hard. Just like
so let me just tell you where I'm going with it. Basically, I was in a group with 6 or 7 of us, and 2 or 3 of the guys are big crypto guys.
No.
And when you got
crypto frame, dude.
Crypto frame all night, it was just crypto shenanigans, dude.
Oh,
just like
I thought we were over that.
Same, and like we kind of are, and they recognize we are, and that it's like it's totally degenerate and it's dumb and there's no use. The one guy who works, he actually works in crypto. He's just like he like has no purpose. But man, they controlled the frame. I just had to sit there, and as an outsider, I was just giggling inside at just how ridiculous the whole thing sounded.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about, I'm doing this, and I'm trying this, and we're doing this, and then we talked to this guy at Art Basel, and he's like, yeah, dude, I'll link you up with all my VCs, and you can raise this money, and then you can launch gaming, and I'm just like, dude, are any of those things working right now? That's the frame I was dealing with.
That's a tough frame. I don't even know if you used the term correctly, but that's a tough frame. Yeah, I think that really the like crypto is like kind of cool to me. Like in theory, it's like I get the idea. It's cool how like you don't have a central authority and like it still all works. Like that's pretty cool. Then whenever you get into the kittens, dude, it just gets dirt. If you start selling NFTs,
Well,
then
now
I'm
all they
just like,
talk about is pudgy
what are we doing?
penguins.
Yeah,
Everything's just
that's
pudgy
like,
this, pudgy that.
our buddy Hunter.
That's what you got going on
this
next
morning. He's like, dude,
Like, I think they're really
literally,
hot right now. So just everyone's talking about pudgy penguins. And
like, why?
I
Why is
just,
this? It's not Lindy, dude. It's not Lindy.
it
Oh, talk
can't be
about my new
Lindy.
crush, dude. Fucking Lindy, man. I was debating getting a robe and just because he's basically like Lindyman transition from fucking NFTs to Lindyman. I have some qualms about like clothes and trends and stuff. And Lindyman's like, y'all are clowning, dude. If you want a sick outfit, what you got to do is go back to the Romans and the Greeks. Like you look at them, like you look at Socrates. What's he repping? He's got this nice little like toga robe thing that's just super airy, super light, and he's got like a fucking skirt on. You just let
Yeah.
let everything down there
And
just hang
chunks.
loose. And
Chunk
chunks, dude. And
waiters.
chunks. And so really what I'm realizing is I was trending towards Lindy, uninterrupted. Because I was wearing shorts, chonks, and a sleeveless shirt that was aired out.
Uninterrupted or unintentionally?
Well, I was rupted. So yeah, unintentionally would probably be more accurate there. But inadvertently, I think that might have been the real word I wanted. but
It wasn't
But,
Lindy for you, though.
well, I
Because
don't.
the girls
Well,
didn't like
I had
it.
to get a girlfriend. Yeah, no girls liked it, so definitely not Lindy there. But I think it's more a them problem than a me problem.
Dude, the amount of days now where I'll just wake up with 12 Lindyman tweets from you in my inbox from like 1,
Dude, what
2,
happened?
3, 4 in the morning. I'm like, well, he had a Lindy night, so
Every night's a Lindy night. That's the like I can't imagine his feed because I send you like 10% of what I actually interact with. And then I ended up saying to Lindy Man, I'm like, hey, I like your stuff, dude. And then so he was my second DM, and I guess I didn't realize, but my fat finger would select him sometimes. So I was just sending him his own tweets, dude. But they're so good.
he ever respond to you sending him?
No,
his own
he
tweets?
just he gave me like one of the Navals, like fuck, just a react. He reacted not to me saying like big fan. He reacted to me sending him his own tweet. He's like, you're a fucking moron.
Because he, I did not know that.
It's what the crazy part is always at 3 a.m. too. So you must think I'm a fucking psychopath,
like,
dude.
How many times is this kid with a bendy straw in his profile picture?
What happens, dude? I'll go through, and I know we got to wrap the pod up soon, so I'll end on this. It's a little nice thing you can try at home. I go through and I want to read everything of his. So I go from like you can like do advanced search on my phone. So I'm like from at Paul Scallis, that's his name, and I put until and I put whatever date. So it gives you all the tweets up until that point. Because it won't let you load like everything infinitely. Because I guess I got to the bottom of Twitter. So I'm back in like it's May 10th of 2022, and I'm just going every 10 days through all his tweets because he tweets a lot.
So tonight you'll change your range by 10 days.
I'll try and get down to February of 2022. I like to do ideally a couple months a night.
I don't know,
but he's
what
got
kind
good
of
stuff,
you
dude.
got.
He's got good stuff.
Yeah.
He was talking about these new Yeezys, how they resemble like socks, and then he shows a picture of like what the Bilbo Baggins type shoes people were wearing back in the day, and he's like, "Oh, this is Lindy as fuck," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool, dude. It's Lindy. Red's Lindy, so you know I got my red jacket,
But you're wearing black
there
all day.
Yeah, well, that's
same.
part of the problem. He shits on that. He's like, "Hey, grayscale ain't Lindy, dude. You got to get some reds in there, some color." High ceilings, dude. Lindy. I just bought an architecture book that he recommended. You know, back in the day, and maybe I'll have a pod on the architecture book if I read that. But they used to have more of these these little what's the little like, when you got like grass in like in the center of your house, a little not like a
Atrium?
terrace thing. An atrium. It's like outdoors. They got them in like Mexico
Courtyard?
or Spain or something. Look at that courtyard, dude. Courtyards are Lindy. That's what you need, because then you get sun from all sides and you get nature in the middle. So I kind of want a courtyard in my house whenever that comes.
Huh. I'll tell you what's not Lindy. 7 nights a week hockey. When you're
hockey's Lindy. He said hockey's Lindy, dude. Not hockey itself, but like skating and sliding on things like that.
Gardaloo! Skating and
dude.
sliding on stuff right now.